All right, so everyone said they wanted my old mic back, so here you go, I guess. But yeah, today's story time, it's a good one. This story time is a little bit different than ones I've told on this channel in the past. I've told a lot of story times about, my teenage years and kind of the trouble I've gotten into, obviously. That's kind of what this whole channel was based off of. And I, haven't told this story before, and it's a little bit different because it didn't take place in my teenage years. And it's, I don't know, it's funny. I think you guys are going to like it. It's definitely crazy. Hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place when I was 12 years old. Yeah, dude, literally 12. I was about to turn 13. Most of my stories don't take place at this age because at this age, I was 12. And when I was 12, I wasn't doing a whole lot. My life at 12 years old consisted of just playing video games, eating junk food, sitting at home, going to school when I had to go to school, and enjoying summer vacation whenever that would come. Now that I think about it, my life really hasn't changed a whole lot other than school. I still very much sit at home, eat junk food, play video games, and I enjoy the summer. So, maybe I haven't changed that much, but back then I wasn't getting into trouble that much. That's for sure. Compared to 16, 17-year-old Luna, 12-year-old Luna was pretty innocent. As he should be. I feel like if you're a 12-year-old, you should not be getting into trouble with the police or being, crazy and going to parties. Don't do that if you're 12 and you're watching my videos. Anyway, this all starts off as a normal day when I was 12 years old. Okay, it was summer vacation, so I woke up at noon, I think. Back then, my sleep schedule wasn't nearly as fried as it is now, so I woke up at 11:30 a.m. or noon or something, and that was pretty late for me back then. So yeah, I slowly got out of bed, I went to the kitchen, had some breakfast, I had cereal. After that, I went into the living room and I watched some SpongeBob because that was on TV at the time. And this was before, we had Netflix on the TV and shit. This was, during the cable era. So I was watching SpongeBob because it was on Nickelodeon. And my brothers were in the room with me and they were watching it too. And I'm just sitting there enjoying my summer day, but being lazy. When all of a sudden, my house phone starts ringing. Yeah, this was also during the era of house phones. I don't know if you guys have one of those now, but back then we had one. So yeah, the house phone starts ringing and my mom goes over to answer it. We had our phone in the kitchen and my kitchen and my living room were connected so I could kind of hear her answer it. And she goes, "Hello? Oh, hi, Ethan. Yeah, I'll go get him." And I hear her go, "Austin, phone." And I run up there, I grab it. It was my homie Ethan, one of my closest friends back then. I went to school with him. One of my best friends back in the day, was very excited he was calling me. So I grabbed the phone. I'm like, "Hello?" He's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "What are you up to today?" And I was like, "Just nothing right now. Just kind of hanging out at home." And he goes, "Do you want to come sleep over tonight?" And I was like, "One sec, let me go ask." So I put the phone down. I run over to my mom. She's in the living room. And I was like, "Hey, Mom, can I sleep over at Ethan's tonight? He just invited me." And she's like, "Sure, that's fine. But you have to pick up the dog poop in the backyard first and clean your room." So I was like, okay. So I went back to the phone, told Ethan I could sleep over. He then asked when I could be there. So I went back to my mom and I was like, "Mom, when can we go?" And she's like, "When do you want to go?" And I said, "As soon as possible." And she goes, "Okay, just let me know. I'm free all day." So I ran back in the kitchen. I was like, "I can come whenever." And he's like, "All right, show up in the next 2 hours." So yeah, after that, I hung up the phone, went right to the backyard, grabbed the dog poop scooper thing, picked up the dog shit, put it in the bucket, went back inside, cleaned my room really fast. And I got everything done because I really wanted to hang out with my homie Ethan. So I told my mom everything was done. She inspected my room, checked the backyard. She saw that I did everything. And before I knew it, I was in the car with my bag packed on the way to my friend Ethan's house. Very excited. I had my Xbox with me. I was bringing that. We were going to set it up right next to each other's like we usually would and play online together, which is so funny because we literally could have just played Xbox Live together and just played from our own homes. But something about being in the same room while playing in the same game together online on separate consoles was just so fun. It still is to me. Sometimes when friends come to my house to hang out and crash for the night, they'll bring their PCs and we'll play Counter-Strike or play games together in the same room and be on Discord, but he's literally 10 feet behind me. It's just funny, man. Anyway, I get to his house. It was fun. The first couple hours of me hanging out there, that's what we did. We just played video games, kicked it. When at about I don't know, probably 3 or 4 p.m., might have even been 5. All I remember is the sun was still out, but it was going to be setting soon. Me and Ethan got pretty bored of playing video games, and we wanted to do something outside before the sun set because we only had another hour or two of sunlight. So we had this idea to walk to this nearby pizza place, get pizza together, and then come back to his house, and then we could play games all night on the Xbox, right? So we went over to his mom, and we're like, "Hey, can we go to this pizza place?" And she was fine with it. As long as he brought his phone and I had mine on me, it was all good. By the way, back in the day, I did not have an iPhone. I had a flip phone. I feel like an unk telling this story, bro. I had cable TV, a flip phone, a house phone. Shit was... I feel ancient, okay? Anyway, yeah. Ethan's mom was cool with us going out as long as we had our phones and they were on and charged. And she also said we had to be back before the sun set. So we only had like probably an hour or two. So we walked to the pizza place. We had the pizza. It was yummy. It was good. That's not why I'm telling this story. It's what happens after is why I'm telling this story. So after we get done with our pizza, we start walking back to Ethan's house. Now, it wasn't a far walk. It was like half a mile. Like, it was very easy and quick. So I really thought nothing could possibly go wrong between the walk from the pizza place to Ethan's house. Well, we're walking. We get about halfway through it. We're like nearly on his street. When all of a sudden, from behind me, I hear a siren of a police car. And I turn around, and there's a police SUV behind me and Ethan with their sirens on and a cop getting out of it. And he's coming up to me and Ethan. Now, I don't know why, but I was really nervous. Not sure why. Didn't really have any reason to be nervous. It's not like I had anything on me that was illegal. I was literally a 12-year-old kid. I had a Mountain Dew in my hand. That was it. And the cop comes up to us, and he goes, "What are you boys doing?" And me and Ethan look at each other, kind of like confused and kind of like wondering who's going to talk to the cop, because not both of us can answer at the same time. So I kind of like took lead. And I look at the cop and I was like, "Oh, we're just walking back from this pizza place. We're going back to my buddy's house here." And the cop goes, "Really? By yourselves? Aren't you a little young to be out alone?" And he was right. I mean, we were 12, so like we probably should have had an adult with us. But also, it was a safe area. His parents trusted us. And it was a very short walk, so I really don't think there was too much to be worried about in this situation, but he did have a point. I get it. So I responded, and I was like, "Yeah, I understand, but, you know, his parents gave us permission, like, we're allowed to be here." I essentially just told him we had permission, right, from my friend's mom. And I also told him we had phones, so, like, you know, we could call them if there was an emergency. And the cop goes, "Well, we just got a call from a nearby retail store about some shoes being stolen, and they were two young boys, probably early teens, and you guys fit that description, so would you know anything about that?" Now, keep in mind, guys, this guy said retail store and somebody stole shoes. I had nothing in my hands but a Mountain Dew, and I don't think my cargo shorts pockets would fit a pair of shoes. Meanwhile, Ethan had a bag in his hand that had like leftover pizza in it, and also clearly had no shoes in there. Even he opened it up and showed the cop. So I told the cop, I was like, "Yeah, we have nothing. Like, as you could see, I don't have anything on me, just this drink. He has pizza. Like, that's it." And the cop goes, "Let me look in the bag." And he points to Ethan. So Ethan, like, nervously hands him this bag of leftovers, and he looks in it. And all of a sudden, Ethan just takes off running full speed in the other direction. And I'm standing there like a statue. And the cop goes, "Stop him!" Meanwhile, Ethan is already like fucking 20 feet in the other direction, and I'm like far away. Don't know what this cop wanted me to do. Like, I don't have elastic powers. I can't like stretch my arm and grab him. Like, I don't know what he wanted me to do. So I literally just shrugged my shoulders at the cop, and the cop takes off running towards Ethan. And then the cop runs back when he realizes he's too far away from Ethan and starts running at me full speed. And it looked like he was about to tackle me or some shit. Like, I genuinely thought he was about to dive and tackle me with how fast he was running up to me. And like, I don't know, I just got super in my head about it, and I thought he was about to like fucking tackle me or something. So he was scared I was gonna run. And me being afraid of him running at me made me want to run. So I ran. And now I'm running, and he's yelling behind me, "Stop it! Stop right there! Stop!" And I hear him like get on his radio behind me, and he's like yelling. He's like, "I got these two kids, like they're running." And I'm just hauling ass as fast as I can. And let me say, when I was 12, I had so much more endurance and so much more like stamina. So I outran him pretty quick. I definitely I did the long game, man. I ran from that street down another street, through a parking lot, and then down another street. And he gave up at the parking lot. I remember like I turned around in the parking lot while I was running, and I saw him pretty far back, and he was like bent over with his hands on his knees, like catching his breath. So yeah, he was pretty tired. So yeah, I just did not stop running. I kept going until I was very much far away. Now, I ran for probably another mile down some road, and I decided it was probably a good idea to call Ethan. So I opened my flip phone, I went to my contacts, called him up, It rang like a couple times, and then he answered, and he's like, yo, where are you? And I was like, bro, I'm on this street. Like, I'm pretty far away from you. Can you come meet me? He's like, yeah. So he ends up like hanging up with me. I tell him where I'm at. I tell him I'm outside of this like restaurant. He knew where it was. And now I'm just waiting. I'm waiting in this parking lot on a bench, hoping that Ethan gets to me before like the cops do. Cause like I thought they were out looking for me still, cause they probably were. So I'm on this bench and like 20 minutes goes by, right? And I'm like, dude, where the fuck is Ethan? Like, he should have been here by now. So I text him, nothing. So I wait another like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. And I decide, you know what? I'm going to call him again. So I call him and this voice answers the phone that is not Ethan. I hear hello. And the voice sounds a lot like the cop we just talked to. And I go, hello? And he goes, where you at, buddy? And I go, nowhere. And I just hang up the phone. And immediately I jump off the bench and I ran. And I ran and I ran until I got back to Ethan's house. I was able to run like in a big circle, right? Until I was back on Ethan's street. And when I got to Ethan's street and I got to Ethan's house, there was a fucking police car in the driveway. And I see Ethan, his mom, his dad, and the cop in the driveway, standing in a circle, talking about what just happened. And while I'm staring at them, they don't see me, right? So I think, okay, I have two choices here. I go up there and I just talk to them and, you know, like deal with it essentially. Or I could just like run away and then call my mom for a ride, which was stupid, obviously, because obviously the cop like knew who I was at this point. He knew who Ethan was. He was talking to his parents and his parents had my mom's number. So like she was going to know either way. But I don't know. I was just so anxious at the thought of talking to all of them at once. I just freaked out. I ran away to like a nearby street that was out of sight. I called my mom, asked her for a ride. I told her I was on this random street, like right next to Ethan's street. She asked me why I was on that street and why aren't I at Ethan's. I told her I would let her know when she gets there. And she was like, no, tell me now. I was like, it's a long story. Just like wait till you're here. So she pulls up like 10, 15 minutes later. I get in her car and she's like, okay, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? Where's Ethan? Where's your stuff? You don't have your Xbox. You don't have your backpack. Like, we can't leave that at Ethan's. Like, we have to go get that. And she starts pulling onto Ethan's street because she wants to get my stuff. And I'm telling her, like, no, don't go down his street. Don't worry, I'll get it tomorrow or something. And she's like, no, we're just getting it now. Like, I'm right here. And she's like really suspicious as to why I'm acting so weird. And then when we get down to Ethan's house, she sees the cop and them in a circle. And she pulls in the driveway. She looks at me and she goes, what did you do? And I was like, nothing. And she's like, really? Why is there a police officer talking to Ethan and his parents? And why are you hiding? And I was like, I'm not. And she goes, okay, let's go talk to them then. So I'm like, okay, trying to play it off like I didn't do anything wrong. And we get out of the car, we go up there. The cop's like, oh, there you are. And he points to me. And my mom looks at me and she's like, what did he do? And the cop goes on to talk about like what happened and like tells the story to my mom. My mom obviously was very apologetic that I ran away and didn't, comply. And then I told my side of it. I was like, listen, I didn't want to run and I was standing there for a little bit, but then he charged at me and I got scared. I thought he was going to tackle me or something. And the cop's like, well, I didn't want you to run. And I was like, well, you running at me, not wanting me to run, made me want to run. So it was just basically one big like fucking, crazy situation. Anyway, we were 12, so obviously the cop didn't, throw us in jail or some shit for running. Like, we were obviously just two dumb kids. Like, he wasn't going to throw us in jail over that. Also, the people that, like, he was looking for, they found, like, 30 minutes later. So, yeah, we just, like, matched the description, I guess. Also, I kind of got let off the hook because Ethan mainly took the blame. He, like, spoke up and was like, listen, I ran first. I was scared. I don't know why. Austin just was probably nervous and didn't know what to do, so he ran next. Like, it was my fault for running. If I didn't run, this wouldn't have happened. Which was true. If Ethan didn't run, I wouldn't have ran. Because I literally was like, oh, like, it's not fun to talk to this cop, but also we didn't do anything wrong. There's no reason to run. Anyway, yeah, I kind of got let off the hook. All that happened was I got taken home that day, and, like, my mom didn't let me hang out with Ethan for, like, a week, which isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, she went easy on me. She was pissed that I ran, though. Like, even though Ethan ran first and, like, he was kind of the one that initiated everything. She was still mad I followed in his footsteps, which is like fair. But I didn't get in that much trouble, which I guess is good. But yeah, guys, like that was kind of it. I remember the rest of that summer being pretty mild compared to that day. And, I just kind of tried to keep it low key, stay out of trouble for the rest of the summer. But yeah, that is it. Moral of the story is, don't be like me and Ethan. We had no reason to run from the cops. We could have just stayed there and been like, dude, don't know what you're talking about. We got nothing on us. And he would have walked away. But we got paranoid, I guess. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Plays, have bitches, pull up on me, I got 2 switches, 20 gauge rounds, hit you up like it's nutrition, I've risen, everything came to fruition, stop the jealous talking on your girls, mine I might hit it, I heard my name is in your mouth, yeah I really doubt, you want me talking back cause I could really air it out, remember when I call your